So this is how Power BI desktop application looks like. You can download the application in Microsoft Store or you can directly download it through website. To download it through Microsoft Store, go to Microsoft Store and search Power BI. Then you'll have to download Power BI desktop. And after you download the application, you will see some pop-up asking you to sign up for Power BI. Now to give you a quick rundown of the interface, this above area, it's called a ribbon, where you'll see commonly used tasks like icons, and it is kind of similar to other Microsoft applications like Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word. So it somehow looks familiar to us, which obviously makes it comfortable to use in the first place. And then this big area, it's called a canvas. You can add all your visualizations here and create a report to later share and publish your data. And then we have our visualizations, which has all these visualization tools like the pie charts, bar charts, stack charts, maps. We'll be looking different types of visualizations in upcoming slides. And this is called a field span, where you'll be able to find query elements to make your visualizations. And down here, you will see page tab. You can add pages for your visualizations and reports. And this is kind of similar to how you add your pages in Excel file. And then uh, using this tab, you'll be able to see your loaded data. And this tab gives the relationships between the tables. Okay, now let us start by importing our data set. For this, let's go to get data. You can see the amount of data sets you can import in Power BI. Like there are more than 99 plus sources from which you can import in Power BI. For now, we'll be using Excel dataset, which is in the first row. So these are the tables which are present in my Excel dataset. And by clicking on it, you can see the preview and it displays the first 15 rows of the table. And to import the table, you have to click on these check marks. And then you see options to whether load or transform or cancel. So now, so let's transform the data first to make sure that the data is clean. We have to avoid data inconsistency and make sure that there is no null values. So after you have verified your data, you can click on close and apply. Let's wait for a few seconds. Here our data has been loaded. So these are the charts that we will be visualizing today. The first one is the column chart. Then the tile appears. When I create this column chart, the options here have changed. Like there are axis, legend, values, and tooltips. Uh, Now let's, and you have to drag and drop the values from the right hand side to left hand side in these fields in order to make a chart. So let's add subcategory in the axis and sales in the values. So when I drag and drop, a simple column chart is created, and by default all the subcategories or the x-axis are sorted based on the descending order, like the rightmost has the least value and the leftmost has the maximum value. Now to customize the charts like changing its color or font size or x-axis, you need to click on format, that is this icon. And here are different options of formatting your chart. Now let's say I want to change the x-axis, then click on x-axis. Then you can change its text size. Here you can see that the size of x-axis has been increased. So I think 11 is good. I think this looks good. Now to change its data color, click on, you can choose any of these colors. You can also change its title. Let's put this capital. Let's also change the background color to red color. And let's change the font color to white. Let's also align it in the middle and increase the text size. So I think this looks good. So now let us see how to create a stacked column chart. So let me rename this to uh, column chart and this to stack column. So now I'll click on the same second chart. So here are the same axis, legend, values and tooltips. So now let me quickly make a column chart first by adding segment here. And for the values, let me add quantity. Here the legend box is empty right now. So let's say I drop a return reason on it. Now here I'm getting 4 different colors. So what are these colors? If I click on wrong item, then the reason of the wrong item is being highlighted. If I click on wrong color, then its reason is being highlighted. And the same goes to not needed and not given. So in this chart, we are first comparing the segment based on quantity. And in those comparison, I'm seeing the distribution of the segment based on return reason. So if you hover your chart, then you can see what are the different values. And this chart clearly shows that the quantity of goods sold for consumer is higher than that of corporate and home office. And also the amount of goods returned in consumer section is the highest. So let's change the orientation of the chart to a vertical one. And let's also add data labels in it. So by ticking these marks, you can see the number inside the charts itself. Now for clustered column chart, let us make the chart with the same parameter. So let us add segment in axis and return reason in legend. And let's add quantity for values. So here we can see the difference between a stacked column chart and clustered column chart. In stacked column chart, you get to see legends in a single bar, while in clustered column chart, you can see different bars of different legend. Like in consumer segment, you get to see 5 different bars. And depending on what you want to show or how you can visualize the data better, you can choose any of these charts. So the next chart is the line chart. So basically, line charts are those kind of charts which shows the growth. Okay, now let's add order ID. Sorry. Basically, the axis usually takes date, and here I want to show the growth of the company monthly. So let me cross the year, quarter, and day. And for values, let me add sales. So this chart shows the growth of the company. The total sales in January was somewhere around 300,000, and gradually we get to see all-time high of 815,000 in November, and we have a dip year in December. And here the legend field is empty. So let me drop category in it. Then you can see sales based on the category, like technology has the highest sales, and followed by furniture and office supplies. Now for the area chart. So for the area chart also, let me add the same parameters. That is order date in the axis and category in the legend and sales in the value. So as you can see that these chart looks similar, but the area chart, it gives you an idea of the area shaded under it, or it gives you the idea of the volume. So for the next chart, we have our very common chart, and that is our pie chart. So it's a pie chart. It is a big circle cut into pieces. Do not chart is the same thing, but it is hollowed out. So it's a visual preference mainly, but there is a key difference between both of them. So now let's start with pie chart. Let's add state to its legend, and for values, let's add profit, and let's do the same thing for do not chart as well. Let's add state to its legend, and profit for its value. So now let's look at the pie chart first and notice how you look at it. The chances are that you look at the center, at least at the first sight. And here is the do not chart. Because do not chart are hollowed out, there is no central point to attract your attention. Your eyes travel around the circumference of the do not chart. So, so we use do not chart for its readability, because you will judge each pieces of the do not chart according to its length. And for percentage breakdowns, you will basically choose, or you will mostly choose the pie chart. And we have other chart called tree map. So it's basically it serves the same purpose, basically the same purpose as the pie chart and the do not chart, but it shows according to the hierarchy. And let's also add the same parameters to, let's add group and profit to its values. So this is the tree map, and I think you might have seen it in Wikipedia. Like, it is a very famous chart in Wikipedia. So now let's move to our next chart, and that is our funnel chart. So funnel charts are those kinds of chart which gives you the idea of the state of progress. So let's add subcategory to its group, and for the values, let's add profit. So this chart shows the percentage of profits of each subcategory compared to other subcategory. For example, the copiers is 100%, then envelopes is 15.23% of the first, that is copiers. And when you hover around it, you can see all the values. Like for the accessories, it is just 26.47% of the copiers, and it is 89.03% from the previous, that is storage. Now for the maps in Power BI. So there are two kinds of map in Power BI, but today we will be focusing in a regular map. So let's add US states to its location. And for the size, let's add quantity. So we have plotted the quantities of goods sold according to different US states. The goods sold in Texas is higher as the size of circle in Texas is bigger. So we can change the size of circle by going to format, and using these bubbles we can change the size. Let's make it a little bigger. I think this looks good. So let's also change the color. Let's give it a gradient. Let's make lowest value the lightest color and highest value the brightest color. So your Texas has the biggest circle, followed by Illinois and Michigan, which means that the quantity of goods sold in Texas is higher compared to others. So we have completed our data visualization part. Now let us save this, and let us give it a name, and say intro. So after completing your part in Power BI desktop by modeling and visualizing your data and creating reports, which we had just done, you will publish your data to Power BI service. And using Power BI service, you can share your reports and dashboard with other users. Now to publish the data, click on publish, and then you can see the workspaces to add your report. And to create your own workspace, go to your Power BI service account. So this is how Power BI service account interface looks like. And to create your new workspace, go to workspace. So these are the workspaces which I had previously created. To create a new workspace, click on create a workspace. Then give it a name. You can basically give anything. And let's give it a description. So, and then save. So our workspace has been created. Now let us publish the data. So click on publish. So these are the workspaces which I had created before. And this is the workspaces which we have created recently. So let us publish in this workspace, Power BI intro. Now the data is being, now let's wait for a few seconds. The data has been publishing. Okay, the data is published. Now let's get back to our Power BI service account and let's refresh this. So here we can see our reports in the Power BI workspace which we have just created. So these are all the charts which we had created just before. Like we have all the funnel charts. We have our pie charts, tree chart. We have our line charts and area charts. So basically we have everything. And if you don't want others to make changes to your report, then you can publish it in the form of dashboard. And to create a dashboard, you have to click on the pin icon. Now we get to see pop-up asking you to choose a dashboard. And since I don't have any dashboard, let me create a new dashboard. And let's give it a name. Let's give it a power dashboard and pin. So let's pin all the visualizations which we have created. Since I already have a existing dashboard which I just created, let us pin in the existing dashboard. Let us play in this one also. So when you have pinned your all your necessary charts, then you can go back to your workspace. And here is the dashboard. Here is the dashboard which I just created. So these are the visualization which I had pinned, and you can customize this dashboard. You can drag and drop it. You can also increase the size, and if you want to share it with others, then click on share, and then you can add your friend's email to which you want to share. And to create a Power BI app, you have to click on this icon, and then you can give any name. I think Power BI intro is good. Let's give it a description, and then publish app. So our app has been published. So let's go to our app. So this is our app. So Power BI helps you make this kind of amazing application, and there is a lot of things you can do, and you can actually play around. Like you can make it interactive, and it really helps to share your report. To it also helps to improve your decision, and it helps to see things from analytical side. And so that was all from my end. Now Ashish will be taking over and explaining how to connect Power BI with Azure and its services. And if you have any queries, then please drop it in the comment. I'll be replying to your comments from now on. So okay, Ashish can take over.
Yeah, okay, let's wait for some time. Let us see if there is any questions.
Okay.
So far, no questions.